Hi, what's up, folks? This is your host sjsrana, sjsrana, Google search, and this is my continuation to my last video, which I posted just a few days back, and I'm going to update on very brief different topics apart from world, global news, local news. I'm going to put up something special this time, which I promised last video. It's going to be some spiritual discourse, and I have lots of things which are going on, so which I want to update because world is having to balance a lot of things together. So today being April 19th, time about 5:47 UTC, so it's 0547 UTC hours. Okay, so let's come up with some local news, global news, and then we'll go with the right crux of the situation of COVID-19 and update with what spirituality has to do with all this, what's going around. So local news being, remember last time I updated, I had a hate crime attack on me on April 12th about noon, which is being now investigated by my local police department here, which I reported on April 14th, and then they asked me to finally file a written complaint on April 15th, which I did. So it's under investigation. Let me see what comes out of that, because these things have to stop. And locally, you've seen in India having a COVID-19 rampage. Right now, today on April 19, they reported a total number of above 275,000 COVID-19 infections. And India is also having a double mutant virus, which is making it very tough to contain because people are not following the social distancing. We have seen recently massive gatherings at elections of India, which was conducted by India government. Then later on, we also found that there was massive festivities, especially later on the Kumbh festivities, where people in millions gather at one place on earth. And that was also being discussed, and PM Modi, India PM Modi has trying to intervene, and he did request everyone with folded hands that it's for the betterment of the country. And a few of those big saints and groups of saints listened to him, and they heed, and they said, okay, for the sake of the country, we're going to let off early our celebrations. But many still are there, so let's hope they get it through. Other than that, what's going very unique in India is not only India is having all the variations of Brazil, of UK, of South Africa. India is also having its own special double mutant virus, which nobody in the whole world can produce, but India has it. It's like a double spike protein, which I can detail on further. But that's not my point. The point is India is having so much of issues. Why? They're having so much of massive second wave. Why? There are lots of issues. When it comes down to everything, it trickles down to very basic, simple question: the principle of natural justice. Nature has a way to keep balance. You see the food chain, you see how everything is perfectly balanced. There's a rabbit eating grass, and or the fauna. Then there's a predator which is eating rabbit. It's a larger predator. You can call it a cat, or you can call some sort of larger predators. Then there's a higher food chain of that, which is like tiger and lion on the top of the food chain. So this is all balanced by nature. Nature always balances everything. So imagine we are reaching 9 billion plus population on planet Earth very soon, and it's almost touching those numbers. And obviously we are polluting air a lot, and there is a lot of things which is not going right. Sufferings are increasing day by day. Why all this happening? So that was the question which Jim Jordan asked Fauci, US congressman from Ohio. He asked, when is this all going to end? Obviously, he's frustrated. He wants to save America's citizens. I mean, it's obviously clear he's so concerned about his safety of his citizens and where he's representing Ohio. But, Fauci tried to answer in a way, but he can't convince or satisfy Jim Jordan. So I think to that answer, I said in last video, I'm going to specify more time on it. So today I'm going to bring that thing too much of my time to address that issue. I have been practicing philanthropy. I've been practicing spiritual life before even I started doing philanthropy. I was working in the US with very big companies. I don't want to name, but they are very good companies which I worked for. They were blue chip companies, insurance giants and tech giants from Whippany, which they have the office in Whippany, New Jersey. Then I worked in Los Angeles, Oxnard Street, Woodland Hills. very big office there. So I don't want to name those companies, but they were massive companies. You can say one of the topmost Titanic, an insurance giant. You can very well guess the name. So I was employed there in Los Angeles and worked as a very senior position of administration, which is database administrator, and on a chief position of technical architect for the designing a lot of things. So that was a good time to spend there. I love America because, simply I've loved the people there. They were so much fantastic, great to see. California I love because of the air and because of the people around. They're so gregarious, so, helping, and many things about California. So anyways, the point here is that what is going around in the world, if you look back, what happened was drastic in 2012, starting from 2011, Fukushima. So Fukushima was a trigger point, which you can say a trumpet. I don't want to quote things from a holy book like Bible or, holy book of Quran or, from Torah, which is loved by Jews and everybody else. It's a respected book, and many other like from, Indian Mahabharata, and they've got Sikh Guru Granth Sahib Ji, holy book. So a lot of things are there, but I don't want to go there because, see, my understanding of spiritual life so far, which I practice, is that spiritual is way beyond the religious belief. Religious, you will do things in a religious way, okay, you got specific time, you got specific things, you got specific trends to do or festivities to follow, a lot of things are there. But, spiritual life is quite simple away. It's a truthful living, and it's like enjoying your own self-company. So I have this saying which I put in 2012 and 13, and it's floating in internet all around. If you can't enjoy company of yourself, you can't have others enjoy company of yourself. So that was my quote. If you can't enjoy company of yourself, you can't have others enjoy company of yourself. So I indicated in 2011 and 12 that this is the time which is going to come. So see, now in COVID-19, social distancing is prime requirement. Even WHO, if you ask the director chief of WHO, he's saying social distance is very much required, mask is required. And if you ask Fauci, he's a pandemic chief in US, CDC also he's heading, he's saying very much required social distancing. So what is this all about? See, every time when we come up with some problem, there is a solution which Mother Nature has already provided us. We don't listen to Mother Nature, which is planet Earth for us. If we listen to Mother Nature, it's going to give us the antidotes for whatever is being presented to us as a problem. So my saying is that look around. Mother Nature started predicting in 2011 with the Fukushima outburst and a nuclear plant of Daiichi, getting whole nuclear disposal waste, contaminating land, contaminating water, contaminating air first. So it started with air, it contaminated the land, then contaminated the sea. So in my understanding, first it attacked the air, then which is air, then it attacked the land, then it attacked the sea. So in this sense, which is what is going on? The world is having the same symptoms with COVID-19. Many right now are saying COVID-19, the new mutants could be airborne, like a double mutant of India, especially it's very dangerous. It could be airborne. They are not giving a lot of details. Indian scientists are somehow holding, they have done the genome reengineering or sequencing, but they are not giving the details whether it's airborne or not. So Indians medical research team should tell the world, alert the world, yes, our Indian double mutant virus COVID-19 is airborne and it's having double mutations. So what is this causing? Apart from social distancing, you look at our daily routine. If you look at the spiritual life tells like you got to be self-contained, self-aware, self-satisfied, contented. Think about it, introspect yourself. Are you contented? Are you happy by yourself? Are you self-satisfied? If that's the question, yes, then means you are adding positivity to the whole humanity, whether you do a thing or not. But if you're not contented, you're always needing something materialistically or, pleasures, principle, whatever it says, excessive, that's meaning you are basically adding negativity to the world, no matter how happy you keep the other people, folks. Recently I was quite worried because shockingly, today I read the news, yesterday it occurred that there was attack on a female minor girl, especially I think 15 years old, where more than 10 or 11 sexual predators from India attacked and they sexually battery on a minor girl, and they're all now being in the custody. But what's more surprising is that the victim, the survivor female minor girl, has turned COVID positive. Also, many of those predators population, sexual predators population, which attack those minor girls are also COVID positive. Can you imagine? So this is where the spirituality comes to your help. Imagine that female, that minor girl is going through 3 traumas now. It's having a trauma of sexual battery from all those predators. It's having a trauma of COVID-19 positive. She was fine earlier, now she's COVID positive. She's also having a trauma of possibilities of a pregnancy. Who knows, what's going to happen to her. So because she's minor, she's 15, 16 years old. I put it in my update. If you see onewordpress.wordpress.com, I've done it today around 3:30 UTC hours. I've updated my new post, which I'm going to also update with this because I have kept some time buffer to do all the rest of the updates and reread anything if not aligned. So I do all by myself. For all these 10 years in India, I've never received any support from anyone. Nobody comes and says you're doing a good job in India. Okay? Physically, forget about it. They don't even cooperate with me. That's what India is all about. I'm very startled to see they don't care, they turn a blind eye. Or maybe it's like hate crimes are too much in India. Or there could be many other agendas, but I don't know why. Even sometimes I fear maybe government is trying to intervene with them. Because, if you see, I don't even have a social contact with any person. Forget about a female, I don't even have male friends also, which are close and say, hey, you're doing a good job. You keep continuing because you're guiding the whole world. So that's fine. For almost, you can say like 1.5 years, I've been totally self-contained. I have no external contact with anybody for more than 1.5 years. Can you imagine? Yes, because in 2018, I had predicted hashtag 2018 WAR war, which was in January. But it occurred in September, October in full grace. But in May, it was a big event, which is, Hawaii, the volcanoes in Hawaii, which 2 volcanoes were, blowing apart the whole thing. And all these volcano activities which are occurring since then, since 2011-12, apart from Fukushima, I also learned they are going to dump the radioactive water in the sea now. Japan has already decided, US is supporting it, and Russia is opposing it, and China is opposing it. They're saying, how can you do it? Because it is going to be disastrous. So guys, we have polluted air. That's my concern. Spirituality wise, I see from a remote vision, it's the air which is contaminated. Recently, I was very surprised and also glad to hear that Elon Musk from SpaceX has launched his 3rd human mission. Congratulations to you, Elon Musk, that you have done a very good job by sending 3 safe human missions to space. And this 3rd flight, space shuttle, is basically has already launched and carried. And it's also launching SN15. I hope they get a good success. Elon Musk is doing a good job, but sometimes people drive the agenda to the military side, which I already am aware how Elon Musk may be misused future. So anyways, guys, so this is where we are having a problem. Air is too much contaminated. India having most of the cities as most polluted air. China is also facing a massive problem of polluted air, and you see Africa also facing. So air has become too polluted. So contamination in air. Also, I tell social distancing. Imagine there's an article recently in New York Times and also elsewhere I've seen, but I read that, so I just quoted it. That they asked yesterday, when can American have safe sex or good sex, because social distancing is preventing all those. So those issues are falling in. And imagine, if you have STD from those unprotected, whatever, intermingling with strangers, whatnot we used to have earlier. People used to have, I don't, because for many years now, 3-4 years, I've been out of that. Not because I don't want to go for that route, because I have my own way of getting the moral and ethics right, which is basically getting through marriage or getting through a good alliance, which I don't think in anywhere India is possible. That's what I've seen. So for 3 years, 4 years, I'm here, stuck here. And I think when I come abroad, somewhere, wherever I go, Russia, maybe China, maybe who knows, Germany, I don't know, maybe Canada, America, anywhere, maybe Africa, maybe I'll have it foreign alliance. India, I've gone through very bitter experiences. So I don't want to narrate that. And I was even implicated in false cases, which were proven totally unsubstantiated and unfounded, baseless allegations on me. State was a party in which I updated in the last article. So That's what is going wrong. So that's what is making me come out of this situation. Now that is where the issue comes. If you're having those things, people are having sex, and having a COVID-19. Imagine STD and COVID-19 together can make a super contagion. It could be a super contagion. So how can you have those things open? Nobody's answering that question. So Jim Jordan from Ohio, I have a lot of respect for you, but these are the questions in front of you. Fauci didn't ask, but I promised you I'm going to ask those questions. I have the answers also. These are the answers. The air is contaminated. People don't follow social distancing. They're too much intermingling. They want to have sex first. India, especially if you look at it, it's like highly productive in that sense. Nothing else I know more, but they are more productive in that route. So India is having 1.4 billion population, having 1/3 size of China. China is also having 1.4 billion population. It's 3 times size of India. So imagine the density people have and what they're doing. India is also contributing maximum gang rapes of minor girls to the whole world community every day. So lots of things are not right. Nobody's addressing it. Did PM Modi say on the Central Forum that, okay, I'm going to address this problem? No, he doesn't care. He says, yes, it is not my priority. Yes, it's there, but maybe 10th or 8th priority. He never uttered a word. He's already careful about elections. He wants COVID-19. He's importing all the vaccines. Even recently, India Health Minister Harshvardhan has applauded Narendra Modi, diplomacy about vaccine. He's saying, see, now we're getting vaccines from foreign also. Come on. I mean, how could you have shortage of Indian vaccines, when you are a mass producer of drugs and pharmas, you're a supplier to the whole world. So artificial shorting of vaccines made in India because it's not having efficacy. I know everything. I don't want to divulge more, but PM Modi, you got to address the issues which are hampering the nation. And because I'm living in India, I support my human rights here. I am more concerned for the people around, obviously for the whole globe also. But this is where I've been alerting all along, but nobody listened. That's why I have my prediction way before in December 2020, #May 2021 NPW, New Pathogens War. So imagine if people are not following social distancing, they're intermingling, they're having intercourses, they're having whatnot, sex life, tremendous, and COVID-19 is on top. So you can have mutations, you can have some influence towards each other, and they can produce a super contagion. I have those things which I've already seen. So I'm telling you, you better control these things. If you can't, I don't know.